you just have to set the boundaries that you're not going to work past a certain amount of time, or like you said, that during the day you're going to be doing this. And I do agree with you that being telehealth, you do have to really set boundaries with clients as far as them texting or emailing. And that is one thing that you really have to be careful of. Setting your time that you can go work out and have exercise and have a well-balanced life.
Hi, I'm Kim Tolson and I'm the traveling therapist. It's my passion to teach therapists how to navigate online private practices and multiple income streams so they can travel the world. I'm a digital nomad with a virtual insurance-based private therapy practice and a multi-six-figure coaching business. I'm obsessed with entrepreneurship and developing tools that can help therapists live an adventurous lifestyle. In this podcast, I will discuss my journey as a digital nomad. I'll chat with other traveling therapists and help you navigate the complexities of running an online insurance-based practice. I'm so glad to have you with me on this journey.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Traveling Therapist Podcast. I'm really excited to have Aimee Harris here with us today. Aimee, I was reading her bio before I logged in with her, and she's been everywhere on my bucket list. So I'm super excited to talk about that. But also just welcome, Aimee, and I really want to talk about your journey and the lessons that you've learned along the way. But I always start out with the question, how'd you go from being a traditional therapist to a traveling therapist? So I think it started with my undergraduate. I've always been fascinated by people and that sociology, the study of people. And I think what led me to traveling therapist was really after COVID. And I know in some of your other podcasts, you talk about this transition from realizing that you no longer have to work in the office 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours a day. And that during COVID, I started my own practice, and that allowed me to really be virtual. And then the sky was not the limit. It was like, wow, we can do this pretty much anywhere. You can go and have that flexibility. So COVID really opened up the door for being able to travel more. I love that so much. Yes, hated COVID, but loved what it did for us, really. Yes, it did. Yes. Oh my goodness. So tell us about your journey. I know in the bio, you talk a little bit about your first big solo trip by yourself and doing that. I'd love to talk about that because I've had a couple guests on here that are just straight up solo digital nomads. And to me, that's always seemed so brave and adventurous. And I don't even know if I could do that by myself. I'm lucky to have a partner that can come with me, but I would love to just talk about that and how you got the ball rolling with that and just your adventures and everything. Just tell us everything. Do it. Yeah. Of course. So it really started at, I don't want to tell my age, but it started at a decade change, right? And I was getting tired of most of my friends either were married and they couldn't go solo, or they couldn't go with me, or maybe financially they couldn't afford to travel. So I was tired of going to the same place every summer. Like you go to the certain beach every summer, you go to the mountains every summer. So for that decade birthday, I decided that I was going to venture into solo traveling. And
wow.
my first destination was, of course, Paris, because I think a lot of people love Paris, but I absolutely have always loved Paris and wanted to go. So that started the journey to solo traveling. And boy, was it, like you said, terrifying and exhilarating at the very same time. Not knowing the language, not knowing what I was in for, but taking that journey because, like I said, I wanted something new and I needed to feel something different for that birthday. To go from different decade is pretty big. And so that's where it started in Paris. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that. I've never been to Paris. I've always wanted to go. You will love it. And that's where it started. And from there, I've just been doing solo for every of my birthdays. There haven't been any since Paris, but several. Every year I decide that on my birthday, I'm going to go somewhere different and solo travel. Dang. Oh my gosh. So now does it just feel so easy by yourself or is it still, you get that nervous kind of? I wouldn't say it's easy because it takes a lot of planning and there's lots of bumps in the way. But what it does do is give you this sense of empowerment and independence that you didn't really know you had within you. And that's what it's so freeing and exhilarating, is knowing that you do have what it takes to solo travel. And what I find is people are super friendly. Mm-hmm. People are tough. they're super friendly. And what I would encourage everyone to do is listen less to what people say. And they'll give you their opinion before you go somewhere that a certain place may not be friendly, or just go not expecting the unexpected. And then you run into other solo travelers, other women, other therapists, and people are super friendly out there. And I've always felt safe where I've traveled so far. Yeah, I love that so much. I'll never forget, we did an episode, her name is Julie Rose, and she was in Mexico by herself. She drove from the tip to the tip of Mexico by herself, like on those roads through Mexico in a rental car. I was like, girl, you were so brave. She's all about attitude, and I've taken that with me. It really is. It's like mindset work, really, with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and a little of, making it so you make it, like you say, going out looking like you're confident. You're not the typical traveler. And like you said, it's really about mindset. It really is.
I love that so much. Oh my gosh. So before we hit record, we were chit-chatting a little bit. We were talking about some of the health benefits that you've discovered. I don't know if it's from research or just your own anecdotal, like personal experience, but health benefits of travel. And I thought it'd be cool to talk about that. Just touch on some of those that you've discovered.
Yeah, a few years ago, did a podcast with Girls Guide to the World. And now it was Girls Guide to Paris, but now it's Girls Guide to the World. And we talk a lot about the wellness benefits of travel. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people accumulate their vacation time, and whether they get money for that or they don't really take a lot of people that I see, especially executives, do not take their vacation time, or they work when they're on vacation. And there's so many scientific studies and research on the benefits of travel. In fact, traveling helps decrease your mortality. People that don't take vacation, especially women, have a higher rate of mortality, of actually death. So really, yes, it helps. Yes, it helps make with it. Yes, because you really need, I know about you because you do this quite frequently too, you really need that time away to help reconnect with yourself and also nature. So it helps with mortality, with heart health, with your decreasing mental illness, depression, anxiety. It helps with environmental and intellectual wellness because it challenges your brain in other ways that them are used to.
Yeah.
So there's so many benefits of health and wellness for travel. In fact, I did a blog about a year or two ago about the benefits of travel.
Amazing. Oh, yeah. I hope we have it. If we don't have it, maybe you could send it to me. We could put it in the show.
Sure, I would love to be nice. I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Because that's something I talk about all the time on this podcast. I am guilty of working, obviously, because I travel every day. I'm in a new, like every week, every couple of weeks, we're in a new place. So I do work while I'm traveling. And I'm guilty of not taking enough time. But we talk about it on this podcast all the time, like trying to find that balance, even if you're doing what I'm doing, have boundaries around how much you're going to work. So you can be in these places and take in the nature and the scenery and just all these new places. And it's so exhilarating and exciting for me. Every time I get to a new place, I can't wait for it. It's just so much fun for me.
Yeah, it's like you said, have the boundaries, but how neat it is if you think about it, to be able to go, like when I was in Greece recently, explore for the day, like you probably do. And then you come back and work, and then you get the best of both. You get to not only see something new, but then at nighttime, that's when, I don't know if that works out with you, where you used to work at night, and then you just go to sleep and you wake up and do the same thing and explore a different area. And you basically are getting paid because you're working. So you're getting paid. You're getting paid to go see a new place. How exciting.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love hearing you talk about Greece too. I'm getting ready to go there in October and I'm so excited just to go. And I've never been to Greece, so I'm really excited.
Where are you going?
Might have to pick your brain. My friend Megan Gunnell, she runs the Thriving Therapist Facebook group. I don't know if you're in that group, but she and her husband's a chef, and they host these culinary tours. So they're doing a culinary tour on Crete for 5 days where it's 6 chefs. Basically, they cook you breakfast, lunch. We go to the winery and cooking classes, and it's just, you're in an immersive. They have things if you're interested.
Yes, I know of that site. I'm friends with her. I had no idea they were doing something in.
Yes, it's October 5th. It's the week I'm going. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
exciting. You're going to love it. I was in Crete. That was my favorite. That was my favorite because it's so spread out. Then you will travel. Paros is smaller, but Crete, it's so many exciting little cities in between, and the landscape. It's divine. And the food.
So excited. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm like getting off track. Yeah, you should. I'll send you the link. Oh my gosh, because I know she has 2 spaces left. Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm really excited about that because I love to eat and I love going to new places. So that's both worlds. And I think we're sharing on in the wine. Yeah, there's a beautiful winery, and one of the hosts there she was the editor of wine in something magazine. Like, she was the editor of Wine magazine, and she knows everything about Greece and the wine on Crete, and it's just going to be, she's like a sommelier or whatever. I can't say that word, but yeah, it's so wonderful. Where I'm like, hey, let's plug Megan's thing. This is so exciting because she does these twice a year at different places around the world. So they're so amazing.
Oh, yes.
So really excited about that. And now I've totally gotten off track. So I'm just talking about my life.
I can tell you some of the places I've visited. Like I said, I just started this journey 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'd love to just even catch up and pick your brain because we're trying to figure out, we have 3 days after Crete. So I'm taking my mom, which I'm really excited about. I've shared it on the podcast before. With this life I'm living with multiple income streams, I was able to afford like the business class flights, and I'm taking her on this culinary tour, and it's a dream come true, really, to be able to take my mom. I never thought I'd be able to do something like that, but it's happened, and it just makes me really happy to be able to do that for her. But total side note.
That's
now I'm getting emotional.
Speaking of that, I have a friend. He's on my team. She's a financial advisor, Mary Kay Hacker, and she's currently in Greece. And she took her mother. She took her mother, and they're going to recreate the whole Mamma Mia. The whole Sky Pillows. I'm sorry if I say it wrong, but all of the islands that were filmed in Mamma Mia. And I'm so excited that she could take her mother, and that you're going to take your mother to Greece. Yeah. And it'll be cool when you go. It'll be
October.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's going to be like perfect weather. So anyway, I'm so excited. But all that to say, what an amazing life to be able to just go. And I just love hearing that you're doing that too. And you could just pick up and work. I know we're talking about boundaries and not working, but I think even reading your bio, it sounded like you were like working with time zones and trying to see clients in the evenings while you were over in Europe. So I just think that's fantastic. Yeah.
I don't think it can get better than that. Like you said, you just have to set the boundaries that you're not going to work past a certain amount of time. Or like you said, that during the day you're going to be doing this. And I do agree with you that being telehealth, you do have to really set boundaries with clients as far as them texting or emailing. And that is one thing that you really have to be careful of. Setting your time that you can go work out and have exercise and have a well-balanced life. Because so many people do get overworked with telehealth. They could, like you, I think I heard on one of your podcasts, seeing 30 to so many people a week. You really need the time for self-care and also other dimensions of wellness, like getting out in the environment and being social and having other aspects of wellness to focus on.
Running your own private practice is hard. With so many parts, it can sometimes feel overwhelming. That's where Owl Practice swoops in. Created specifically with mental health providers in mind, Owl offers a comprehensive HIPAA-compliant solution that helps you manage your practice in one convenient platform. Meet with your clients virtually through video therapy, which is fully integrated and secure. Manage client appointments and client records seamlessly. You can streamline your claim process with Owl's integrated insurance and claim capabilities. You can use Owl to invoice and manage payments. Owl Payments ensures financial data is stored securely, and no sessions are left unpaid. Owl is not only for providers, it also offers a secure client portal to enhance the client experience. Clients can use the portal to securely message their therapist, submit digital intake forms, complete necessary paperwork, and book appointments. Let Owl handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on what you care about the most, providing quality care for your clients. Visit owlpractice.com/Kim Tolson to claim a special offer of 50% off your first 6 months.
struggle for real. Because it's so easy for a client to say, gosh, I need a session. And I'm not really doing anything right now. I guess I could hop on, but then there's no boundary there.
Yeah, and that's easy to do because of our profession. We really want to help. And it's, like you said, it takes a lot of effort to set the boundaries, but it overall helps with our overall wellness, and it's very important.
But it's hard, really. It is hard. So what's your strategy for the time zone thing? Do you just tell your clients way in advance you're going to have to change time? But what's your strategy for that? Do you prepare them ahead of time and change their appointment schedule, or do you just adapt to their schedule and then just work then?
I actually adapted their schedule. So there were many nights that, say, I would go exploring in Greece 8 a.m. to, say, 6 p.m., and then I would work from 6 to sometimes midnight. So I would adjust to their schedule so they really didn't notice the difference. They might ask me, oh, where are you? Because they could tell I might be outside of my patio, and it was a different environment. But also what's really neat when you work at night, I could see the sunset.
Oh, kind of nice.
Why, when you're outside, of course, in a confidential area. And it couldn't get better than hearing the ocean and you're seeing the sunset, but you're also working with clients.
Oh, I love that so much. I just love it. Yeah, it's tough sometimes. When we work sometimes we're down in Miami in those high-rise condos. We get Airbnbs there, and we've got this beautiful ocean view. Sometimes it's really hard to be sitting there working. I don't know if you experienced that. It's okay. And our C4 client. Yeah.
It's so hard, like you said, especially when it's still daylight.
Yeah.
And you want to, when I stayed in Santorini for 5 days, and you can see the cruise ship or yacht passing as you're outside, and you're like,
yeah. Have to stay focused in beautiful places. Yeah. It does take a level of self-discipline, I think, to be able to work and travel at the same time. It's a learning experience every day. And I've been doing it for quite some time now. Every day I'm learning something new about myself and balance and self-care and just all that.
And I don't know about you, but the more you do it, I'm already planning my next birthday. I want to go to Bali.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. How cool would that be?
Yeah. So it can be I don't want to say addictive, because it's very exciting, because as soon as I get back, I'm like, okay, where are we going next? Where am I going next? Are you like that too?
Yeah, I was just, my mother-in-law and I were just walking on the beach less than an hour ago, and I was talking to her about this very thing, because I was like, it's not like you get addicted, but it is in a little bit of a way, because if we're in a place for more than 3 weeks, we're like, okay, we're ready, let's go. We're done with this one. Let's go to the next one. I don't know what it is, but we definitely get desensitized to being in the same place for too long, and we're just ready to go to the next place. It's always that. Okay, right now we're only booked through August 9th right now. We don't even know where we're going to be, but the search is on. Okay, we got to find the next perfect spot, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And may I just say, my personality, you don't know me, you're just getting to know me. I'm very much planned, structured, detailed, of course with PhDs, and in our career we have to, as a therapist, be that way. But what I love about traveling is I do the opposite. I'm just like you're saying, I might stay one place, and a night before looking at an Airbnb, where am I going next?
Yes.
And it's so freeing because there is structure. It's just, let's go into where I really like to go is where other tourists aren't. Yeah, I might just happen to be at a restaurant that I have no idea what it's like.
Yeah.
And it's just freeing that you can try different places without having a plan for every day.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And when I went to Greece, I did a very island hopping.
What?
So I went to Santorini, and then I stayed there for a week. I went to Crete for 5 days, and then I went to Paros, and then I went to Anti-Paros. And island hopping is so fun too, because you're just let's just get on the ferry and just see where we end up, what restaurant, what people we meet.
Yeah.
And I met so many women. I just had women come up and talk to me, invite me to dinner. It's just unbelievable.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's amazing. I love that so much. That's who I want to be, this carefree, just hop from this place to this place. And pretty much I am. except for the stress of running multiple income streams. Other than that, I'm pretty free. So I just love hearing you say that.
Yes, and I do have an executive coach. He's trying to help you with, it was funny, he said, maybe if you had more employees to do your substance, then you could be increased and you wouldn't have to work. Trying, like you said, to increase those revenue streams where you also have more flexibility to help, to have employees that help you also see people and help their mental health while you're doing other aspects of traveling.
Exactly. Yeah. Trying to scale up and less one-to-one and more passive income coming in is the ultimate goal, I feel like.
Yeah. And when you see the yacht passes and you're in Greece and I'm remembering what he said, I'm like, what? He's right. Let's build these revenue streams.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to be the one on the yacht. Dude, guilty pleasure. I watched Below Deck. I don't know if you ever watched that, but guilty.
Wow.
Like a reality show, like it shows the crew like doing the private yachts and the people on the yachts and the meals and all that stuff. So I have a dream one day of maybe doing a private yacht.
Oh, who did? Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
What I didn't tell you is since being a traveling therapist, I've started, which a lot of women it looks like are doing, is started a sister company, which is Wellness Retreat. So we can start doing the hosting retreats. And I want to host my next one in Greece, like you're going to. So that's my goal, is to start doing retreats, because I find, like we were talking about, so many women are either skeptical about solo travel or they're scared or there's some limitations. So getting a group together where they can travel solo but then meet women and have the ability to travel solo but also meet other women, I think it is really where I want to be in the future.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Yeah. There's such a movement now with retreats. It's like in the Traveling Therapist Facebook group every day. Somebody's got a retreat they're doing, and people just are really craving that, I think, right now, these international retreats. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So we didn't talk much about that, but what kind of work do you do? And if people wanted to connect with you, how would they find you to see everything that you're doing? Let's talk about that a little bit for the listeners.
Sure. So about a year ago, I started a wellness center in Williamsburg. We were talking about that, Virginia.
Yeah.
And just a little bit about our company. We actually specialize in the 8 dimensions of wellness. So we not only specialize in mental health, but we really want to integrate all dimensions of wellness. With the World Health Organization, they believe in the 8 dimensions. So we specialize in financial wellness, emotional wellness, social, environmental, intellectual, physical. And we have this business in Williamsburg, and the goal is for team members to connect in the various dimensions and really have a one-stop wellness center where someone can come and receive counseling, but then also receive a facial for stress management or physical wellness and meditation, yoga. So to say all that, I am at iewellnesscenter.com, and that stands for individual and employee wellness. I also specialize, I have an IO psychology doctorate, and we really focus on workplace wellness and leadership and productivity improvement. So we want to really integrate all aspects, because the World Health Organization really sees wellness as an integration of all aspects, and that emotional is not disconnected from physical or vice versa. So I'm in Williamsburg. They could reach me that way. They could reach me at info@iewellnesscenter.com. They could reach me at my phone number, 804-904-9731, and on social media at IE Wellness Center.
I love that. Yes. Oh my gosh. So is this an outpatient center, or is it like people come and stay? Is it like a facility, like a 28-day facility kind of thing if somebody wants to get their life together? Or is it more like local Williamsburg people that are coming for outpatient services? It's so interesting.
Thank you for clarifying. So we do have an outpatient services center, but we also, of course, do telehealth, so we can see anyone in the state of Virginia. So we not only have the Williamsburg office, but then also remote, where, for example, our financial advisor could do consultations via telelink. So we offer the telelink services too. We're going to be doing yoga via online. So we really want to access individuals. In some cases, we can see in other states, like my financial advisor can see people all throughout the U.S. Of course, with therapy, we only can practice in the state of Virginia, but there are some team members that have the ability to see someone in Texas, a health and wellness coach I'm getting ready to hire. So lots of exciting team members.
Amazing. Yeah, it sounds like an amazing resource for people. And being licensed in Virginia, it's good for me to know about it to be able to refer people there. So yeah, to learn about it. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I just love hearing about your adventures and the solo travel and this wellness center. That's what I think about. Like when I started private practice, I always had a vision like that of it being like super integrated, not just let's do a little talk therapy, but having lots of facets like that for people, because I know it's that whole person kind of vision, like all of these pieces need to be functioning for you to feel like a whole, complete functioning person. And a lot. I love
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I also thank you because I found you, you're super popular, you popped up, but so many of my solo traveling friends or women have followed other people that you're connected with. So I just want to thank you for offering these wonderful resources and podcasts for women, and that you've also touched my life and also my friends. So I want to thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you for that. Oh God, it's really hurt my heart. Oh, it makes it all worth it. Yeah,
it does. It really does.
Thank you. That's so sweet. It makes me a little teary-eyed. I don't know why I'm a little emotional today, but anyway, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I look forward to sharing this with our listeners, and we'll put everything in the show notes so you guys can follow Aimee, meet her, talk with her if you want to. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for listening to the Traveling Therapist podcast. For show notes, links, and downloads, head over to thetravelingtherapist.com, where you'll be able to learn more about my journey, the courses I've created for you, and other exciting resources to make your dreams become a reality. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share with your traveling therapist friends, subscribe to the podcast, and if you love this episode, please leave a review.